Jason Shadrick with Premier Guitar, and we're at the Labella booth. That was Nick you just heard on bass, and we're here with Eric from Labella.
How you doing?
And instead of strings this time, we are going to be talking about your guys' new bass line.
Right. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this one.
So we're introducing the J5 here at the NAMM show. Thank you for covering this. This is a little bit of a departure. We started with P basses and moved into jazz basses and now into the Jazz 5. A lot of people wanted us to do it. I said, okay, it's time to do it. It's a great opportunity to release it at the show. This bass, it's pretty much like a vintage 4-string, but made into a 5. We always want to keep that vintage spirit alive with the Olintos. It's a 34-inch scale bass. These necks are hand-carved. We hand-wind our own pickups, and we use only nitro finishes on these.
Tell us a bit more about the pickups. You hand-wind them in your shop.
Yeah, we do. We actually hand-cut the bobbin material. We route the holes and we pound in the magnets ourselves. We try to really mimic everything that Leo did back in the day when he was working in Fullerton. And we do that because we're just like vintage freaks. We love trying to not recreate the wheel, but kind of make it by hand. Yeah. So we do all of these in our facility in Brooklyn, at the Guitar Shop NYC. And it's a very small team. We get really freakish about all the details, and I think that really shows on the instrument when players pick it up and play it. These bodies are 1.5 inches. That's our standard body width. It's a little thinner than what Leo was doing back in the day, and that came across as almost like an interesting kind of mistake. We had a 63 from the factory that was 1.5 inches, and we found it to be incredibly rare but really cool. Felt great, so we just rolled with it. Yeah.
So Nick, from a player's perspective, how does it feel for you?
Man, it feels great. The action on this is like comfortably low enough to kind of like not have to press down super hard, and you can get around the instrument really easily, but it still feels like you're playing like a real bass. And the neck is, even though it looks wide, it's really comfortable to play. And you were saying the nut is the same width as
It's 1.75 inches, same as a vintage P. Okay. So yeah, it's really comfortable. Yeah.
For me, I mostly play vintage 4-strings, and so I feel like very at home playing this bass. As someone who doesn't like usually play 5-strings, like this is a wonderful bass for those like instances where you need it, or if you prefer 5-strings but want to kind of keep the vintage.
So then the question is, if down here, if it's the same as a 4, but we have the extra string, how do you feel it is like getting used to having that extra low string?
I mean, I think with any 5-string, like if you're not used to it, it takes a little bit just to get used to having the lower one there. But I find it like a lot more comfortable with this neck profile because it's so much like playing a P bass, which is like what I usually do. And yeah, so for me, like it's everything down at the bottom of the register is really comfortable and really clear and easy to play. And it like sounds like a 60s bass. I mean, it's like this one doesn't exist like from that time period. So it's just a very, very cool sounding bass.
So Eric, what'll be the pricing and availability on this new line of 5-strings?
Standard models are starting at $4,600.
Yep.
Availability, well, we're pretty busy these days. We just ask everyone to put in an order, and we try to get it to you within a year. To be honest.
And where can people go online to find out more information about your strings and now your basses and everything else you're doing?
Thank you. Labella.com. And you could hit us directly at info@labella, and we're happy to answer all your questions. We deal directly with the players. We feel that's really important because every player is different. Everyone likes something a little different, so we try to cater to everybody like that. Directed to the player, yeah.
Thanks, fellas, for talking to me about the new bass. Nick, we're going to have you play us out. Sure. This is Jason Shadrick with Premier Guitar.